All right, let's dive into the fascinating world of telling life stories. We're not just talking about historical records here, but about life as art. It's this amazing genre that lives right at the intersection of fact and feeling, of history and literature. So let's get into what that really means. Really think about that for a second. How do you tell the story of a life? Do you start from the day you were born? Do you just focus on one huge life-changing event? Do you include every little detail or only the moments that truly shaped you? This is the fundamental challenge that drives this whole genre.
And there's a name for it, life writing. You see, it's so much more than just a timeline of what happened. It's the actual craft of taking that messy, chaotic, beautiful reality of a life and shaping it into something we can read and understand. It's where the hard facts of a life meet the art of a great storyteller.
Okay, so let's dig in a bit more here. Because if it's not just a record of events, what is it actually trying to do? Well, it's really all about constructing meaning. It's about looking back on a life and finding the patterns, the lessons, finding the story that was hidden in all those experiences. This right here, this gets to the absolute heart of it. Life writing is this incredible tool for exploring how we become who we are. It forces us to interrogate our own memories and ask, wait, is that a cold, hard fact, or is that a story I've been telling myself? It connects our private inner world to the public one. And, it completely challenges the idea that great literature has to be made up. It's all about finding the art in what actually happened. All right, you've definitely heard these three words thrown around, right? Autobiography, memoir, biography. And a lot of times people use them like they're the same thing, but they're not. They are fundamentally different ways of telling a life story, so let's break down what really sets them apart. And here's the key. It's actually pretty simple. It all just boils down to two things. How much of the life are you covering? That's the scope. And what specific part of that life are you zeroing in on? That's the focus. So check this out. An autobiography has a super wide scope. We're talking the entire life, from birth to the present, and its focus is really on personal development, the story of how I became me. A memoir, on the other hand, totally narrows that scope. It focuses on just one specific period or maybe a theme, and it's all about the emotional truth of that time. Then you have biography. Like an autobiography, it covers a whole life, but the focus is completely different. It's all about external, factual accuracy, built on research, documents, and what other people had to say. So, we've covered the what. Now let's get into the why. Why are these stories so powerful? It's because they're not afraid to wrestle with some of the biggest, most complicated questions about what it even means to be human. They go so far beyond just the facts. And this quote, this is so crucial. Every time we remember something, we're not just hitting play on a recording in our brain, we are actively rebuilding that memory. And our feelings, our perspective, even our mood right now can change the story. Life writing doesn't just acknowledge that, it leans right into that beautiful complexity. And you can see just how deep these explorations go. These stories are ground zero for understanding identity and for exploring that fascinating gap between our private thoughts and our public actions. For a lot of writers, it's a way to process trauma, to bear witness to what happened and find a way to survive it. And ultimately, these stories force us to question the very idea of truth itself, to ask if a single, truly objective life story can even exist.
Now, it's really interesting. The way we tell these stories has not always been the same, not even close. Our whole concept of what a self even is has evolved so dramatically over the centuries, and life writing has changed right along with it.
Just look at this journey through time. Back in ancient times, a life story was often a spiritual one, a kind of confession. Then you jump forward to the Enlightenment, and suddenly the focus shifts to the rational individual and their personal achievements. In the 19th century, biographies were often used to create these larger-than-life national heroes. But by the time we hit the 20th century, the story turns inward. Writers started exploring the fragmented psychological self, really grappling with the complexities of memory and trauma.
So, at the end of the day, why should we care about all this? What's the real power in reading about someone else's life? Well, the truth is, these stories are absolutely essential to our culture and to how we understand the world.
There's so much more than just books. They're alternative histories, told from the ground up, often giving a voice to people left out of the official records. They are one of the most powerful tools we have for developing empathy, forcing us to see the world through someone else's eyes. They create this incredible space to debate huge ideas like truth, power, and who gets to tell the story. But maybe most of all, they reveal something so fundamentally human, our deep need to make sense of our lives by turning them into a story.
And that leaves us with one last thing to think about.
We are all life writers. The story you tell your friends, your family, and maybe most importantly, yourself. It's a narrative. You select and you shape. You emphasize some things and leave others out. So, the question to walk away with is, what does the story you tell about yourself reveal?